who I want to serve and honor, and music, something I can work towards as my career goal. Let me give you a little background on why truth and being real is so important to me. I've always been a performer, and if you have been to my YouTube channel, that's probably evident. I started entertaining friends and family when I was little and also sang in church over the years. After high school, I decided not to go to college, instead putting my all into music. I don't recommend that choice for everyone, but I knew what I wanted to do with my life and knew that this was the time to pursue my dream. Neither of my parents went to college because they both had full-blown careers before they were 18. Both have excelled in their very competitive careers, my dad as a former NHL hockey player and Olympian, and my mother as a longtime actress and television host. So although they did advise me to go to college first, it wasn't crazy for me to tell them I didn't want to go. I made the riskier choice, knowing that I would have to work as hard as I possibly could and become a mature adult very quickly. Though I'm not in college, I am still working hard to improve my skills, studying dance, singing, and acting, elements I need to focus on for the career I want to pursue. I have to go for it with everything I have. I can't hold back. It's my path. Failure is not an option for me. As a kid, I was also the most outgoing, bubbly, sassy, center of attention little girl you could ever meet. I love talking to everyone, performing, being competitive, and sharing stories. In elementary and middle school, I was always the one receiving awards for most likely to become a star or most likely to appear on Broadway. I was constantly putting on shows at home and performing as the lead in school musicals and plays. Later, when I became a bit more tech-savvy, I even hosted my own pretend web series called The Natasha Show. As a result, my choice to pursue my dream felt like the culmination of a long journey of soul-searching to figure out who I am and what I want my life to look like. I'm still figuring it out, believe me, but I've come a long way. And as I said earlier, I don't have it all figured out. But I've learned many things since my early teens, when all I stressed about was what people thought of me and who was posting what on social media. I joined social media when I was 14 through Instagram. Immediately, I was bombarded with images of airbrushed models, picture-perfect selfies, and flawless photos of friends and family. Before long, I got caught up in the idea of presenting this facade of perfection as well. I began to post photos that looked more like the images I saw, a made-up, idealized me than who I really was. I wanted my life to be more like it was supposed to be, full of perfect selfies, perfect blowouts, and perfect people. Social media tends to be about sharing the good times and the times that make us smile. That's because we post what we want other people to see and celebrate online. You rarely see posts about struggles, hardships, mistakes, or failures because those things can be embarrassing to share. As I began sharing my own experiences, photos, and opinions on social media, I learned how much work goes into the perfect post. And before long, I understood how far from reality many things online really are. I couldn't compare myself to what I saw online because half of those images aren't even achievable in real life. And I couldn't let social media run my life. Instead, I had to learn to look at life for what it really is, the raw, cringeworthy, quirky moments of it all. The funny thing is, social media is supposed to connect you to other people. But if we only post the flawless moments, we're not actually connecting with anyone because we aren't really being ourselves. When I was agonizing over creating the perfect post and worrying about what everyone else was doing to look cool, I felt so unsure inside. I was dealing with dark emotions, acne troubles, feeling like I didn't fit in all the time, as well as trying to find out who in the world Natasha was. I grew up in Los Angeles in a family of 5. I'm very fortunate to have been brought up in the way I was, and I'm so thankful. I have the most awesome parents and 2 annoying but fun little brothers. Yet, at that time, I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk or relate to. They were right there. I could have opened up to any of them, but oftentimes I didn't want to share what was going on inside because I was embarrassed. Even to talk to my friends. Was I going to be judged for the issues I was facing? I wasn't sure if any of them could relate to me, and I didn't really like that feeling. After I graduated high school at 17 years old, I reflected on those experiences. There were a lot of moments when I felt alone, isolated in dealing with whatever I was going through at the time. I wish I had been honest and had opened up to my friends.